Alright, so in this video I'm making a troubleshooting video for Fabio Silva in Brazil, who is one of the upper producer customers and is having an issue with the hands not showing up. This is actually a very common thing. The thing you have to keep in mind is that the hands are done exactly the same way that the eyes, the mouth, the eyebrows are done, where you have one primary symbol with a bunch of symbols inside of it. Alright, so, and I'm willing to bet that's pretty much what's going on here. I'm going to click on this hand and I'm going to double click on it. And sure enough, I can already see that this hand has not been configured. So all I have to do right here is select it, open up Puppet Producer, go to the hands area. You can see that I have a slot for 11 hands. The first one is the relaxed, the second one's the victory, and so on and so on and so on. Okay, so the first one would be your relaxed hand. You select your hand, you click the relaxed button, boom, you're done. So now this has been converted into a symbol, and that symbol has the name relaxed associated with it. Now keep in mind, at this point you have to do 10 more hands to have the full kit. So what I do, instead of doing one hand at a time, I'm going to break this apart. I like to do all these hands at the same time. I'm just going to press F7 here, and it'll create all these empty keyframes. So I can go to frame 1, that would be the relaxed. Frame 2, that would be the victory hands. I'm going to turn on the onion skin tool. Let's see here. That's close enough. So let's see, victory. Then we go to frame 3. Frame 3 is the number 7, or the 7 one. It looks like an L shape. Okay. Then go number 4. That would be the OKs. Something like that. All right. Number 5, that is the 1. Okay, number 6, that's the fist. Let's see, number 7, padding. Number 8, that's reaching. Let's see. Maybe like that. Number 9, open. Number 10, pick. That's like you're grabbing something. Let's see, and number 11, that would be the thumbs up. Okay, so let's see here. Let's just Okay. So now that we have all the hands, instead of going one at a time, where I go one, and then the other one, and that one, and then that one, and then click there, and then click there. Since I went ahead and did all of my hands, none of these hands are symbols yet. All I have to do is click this automation button here. So I'm going to click it one time, boom. And you can see that all of these have been set up. Frame 1, 2, 3, all the way to 11. They have been configured according to whichever hand is supposed to be there. So I don't have to go through these one at a time. Here's the number 1 properties. You can see that it's set to relaxed. That's the number 5 hand. You can see it's been set up to 1. Let's write that one right there. That's the number 10 hand. That's pick. You can see there it's pick. All right, so that's all good. So you put this into Crazy Talk and it should work. Now the only other problem that I see right now, right off the bat, is your pivots. See, your pivots, for example, right here you got this little thing there. So your hand is set to turn like that, but your pivot is way out here. So when you bring it into Crazy Talk is going to move it over there. All right, and that's not what you want. This pivot needs to be like somewhere right there and something like that, a little closer. Basically, you should be able to draw a line through all of these, and then you should be able to have like a straight line that goes across all of these. So you can see that this is not quite where it needs to be. And that's kind of what your bone structure should look like. So let me see here. Let's go ahead and export it. Okay. And let's go into Crazy Talk. Bring out our actor. Go into Character Composer. Import the SWF file. Okay, and there's obviously some other stuff that's going on with this, so we have to go through some additional troubleshooting. So let's find out what's wrong with this. Right hand nut pivot. Forearm. It's wrong. No, it's not. This is the right arm. This is fine. Pivot. Upper torso 1. Upper torso 0. Pivot. Lower torso. There's no reason why this shouldn't work. Okay. So let's see here. See, you have this set to face 0. That one's set to face 0. That one is set to face 0. So this causes trouble with whatever you had going on over here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all these and I'm going to try to erase them. Window, library, nope. Window, extensions, puppet producer. All of these symbols with all of these selected, making sure there's nothing else on there, I'm going to press this eraser button. Okay, now when I click this, see, there's no instance name on there. So if you had anything else that was configured, you won't have problems. It's important that all your duplication and all that stuff takes place before you configure it, because if you duplicate something after it's been configured, then that configuration is going to carry over. So this was being told that this was telling CTA that this was your face for the 0 angle, and so was this one, and so was this one, and you had one pivot point for it here. So that confuses the heck out of the software. So let's try that now. Okay, we're still having issues. So something else is going on here. Okay, so what I am going to do is, instead of trying to find where the problem is, I'm just going to start from the beginning. Get rid of all this. Make sure there's nothing else in there. Alright, so I'm just going to grab all of this. Let's see, cut. Paste in place. Window, extensions, Puppet Producer. I'm going to erase that also. In fact, I'm going to erase everything that's in there. Just clean it out. Okay. And we'll configure it. Let's see. So we're going to start with the hands for the 0. And I'm going to show you another trick after I'm done doing this, because there's a much better way to configure your body parts that'll actually work a lot better in terms of animation and in terms of configuring it inside of Puppet Producer. but this is kind of the way that you have it set up. It's a little bit more old school. And requires a lot more work than it's necessary. Okay, I think that pretty much takes care of all of it. Let's try it right now. Okay, let's see here. Something is obviously wrong with this sprite. Let's take a look at this. Sprite head 1. Let's see what you have inside here. Let's break this up. Okay, there's a lot of stuff going on here. That was grouped for some reason. Okay, get rid of that. This group. Don't group objects. It's not going to help you. Left ear 0. That was configured to be a left ear inside of a left ear. You gotta really be careful how you do this. This is not good. Control break. All right. So you have the left ear 0, left ear 0. Let's go in here. See, this is a group. Break that apart. And that one's configured to right ear 0. Nope. So you're basically telling to have like multiple objects nested inside of each other. You have to be really careful when you do this stuff. Face. So you have a face inside of a face. That's gonna mess you up. Let's see here. So we only need one. Okay, so this little green line indicates that it's a group. Control B breaks it up, and now we broke it up. It turns into another symbol. But the face doesn't need to be calibrated inside of the face. So we gotta break it up again. So you only have one. So you face 0. You go inside, and it's just a shape. That's the way it's supposed to be. Let's go ahead. Okay, the eye, that's okay. Mouth, that's set up to be a group. Has to be broken up. Now it has the right shape with the name normal on it. So that's fine. You gotta make sure you don't do stuff like that, because that's gonna mess you up. So you have a group. I'm not sure why you have groups inside, and each group you have it set up as another symbol. That is a recipe for disaster. Wow. This character was more messed up than I thought. Because now I have to go into all of the symbols and verify that the stuff hasn't been done the same way there too. Okay, let's try this again. Pato 3. Okay. Okay, so far so good. Everything seems to be in place. The symbols are behaving exactly the way they're supposed to. The skeletal structure is right where we set it to be. Let's see if we can, and that works pretty good. Let's see, modify. Not too bad. Things that you should keep in mind. Notice this line here, this jagged edge. When this character turns, you have this whole gap here. So this is probably not something that you want. You want to be able to have some kind of object underneath so that it rotates around it. Same thing with his hands. See how those hands just kind of break off? Let's see if I can. That was not too bad. Let me see if I can bring this to the front. So we can see it more. Anyways, I'm sure you can see that line right there where this thing breaks up. See, it just falls out of place. Same thing probably happens with this neck. So that's not very good. The way that you do that, I'm going to show you. Okay, I'm going to give you an example with this same character style here. So let's do this arm first, okay? File, new. One of the ways that I work is that I like to start out with everything with circles. Okay? I'm just going to make a bunch of these because I'm going to use these as reference points for different things. Alright? So the first thing I'm going to do is, let's see, your duck has a shape that goes all the way out like this. So I'm going to try to recreate that first. Alright. Control K, align them together. Okay. Now the other thing is, let's see here. Let's find ourselves a center. So maybe I'll make that my arm. So I have my primary bone structures. Okay, and what I'm going for here is these joints. So I'm going to take this shape here, I'm going to copy it, and actually I want to copy this part first. Alright, paste in place, paste in center, paste in center. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to fill this in. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to save this as a guide. In fact, let's see here. Okay. So I'm just going to set that up as a guide. And one of the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to take this circle here, I'm going to put it right there, and just try to match it as best as possible. Okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that circle, I'm going to convert that into a symbol. I'm going to make sure that this symbol is right in the middle. I don't have to give it a name, but I can if I want to. I'm going to call that the upper arm. And notice what happens, because it's just a circle, this little pivot point was automatically placed right at the center of that circle. So I can take this shape, cut it, go inside here, paste in center, and just kind of guide it towards the center point until it kind of matches. And I think that's pretty good right there. So what I have now is I have this symbol that rotates along that center point. Okay, you're going to see how that's useful in a minute. We're going to do the same thing for this one. The reason I'm not converting this automatically is because when I do that, that little pivot's going to get pushed there, 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 or there. You know, I want it to be in the center, so the best way to ensure that is to just make a circle first. Let's see. And convert that into my symbol. And sometimes it's necessary to view everything in outline mode. Alright, that's good enough. F8, lower arm. Alright, so I'm going to take this, cut it, go in here, paste in center, that's good enough. I have something that looks like that. So I have two pieces now. Put this back. So basically I have two pieces now, and the pivot point is immediately right on the center of those joint areas. And this is how you should treat all your joints. Notice how when I turn, this forms a perfect line around that edge. So no matter how I turn it, I always have like a nice, perfect, even edge. Okay? So now, let's take this part, convert that, we're going to call it the hand, put it right in the center, and we'll just put it right there. Okay, we don't need this guide anymore. Like that. Okay, so we have this one in the bottom, this one in the middle, and this one on the top. Let's tweak this one out a little bit more. Put some kind of duck-looking hands on there. Okay, got it. Get rid of that line, get rid of that piece. Okay, need to get rid of that. So we have something that looks like this. Now the thing about this is that it can actually, you can actually stand to lose a lot of it up to that center point. So if you go in here, you cut it all the way out to the edge. Boom. That should be good enough. You end up with something that looks like that, and when it turns, the bottom circle will show. So you're always going to have this nice perfect edge that goes along like that. Okay? Now let's do the same thing for this one. See, if I just cut the outline, if I just cut that outline, I end up with this little green area that kind of covers part of that outline down there. And this is probably not something that you want. So you can just adjust it if you want. Just kind of move it out of the way. As long as you don't go outside of that circle, that's fine. Or you can just cut it to that center point. So you can have a nice little even area. And you end up with something like this. See? Perfect little edge. Alright, so let's see here. Let's try with the two pieces. Nice little edge. This is how I test my angles and my pivot points and stuff to make sure everything flows nice and smooth. So that's how I set up my hands and my arms, and almost every joint possible, really. It works the same thing for the neck, for the hip area. So your duck, for example, here it's basically a big old circle. So in yours, for example, you probably don't need to have the upper and lower. You could probably just get away with having one body part. But either way, let's say we have this. Okay, we're going to call this the lower torso or the hip area. And automatically it's just going to configure it. I want to copy, paste, break it apart. So I want to make it bigger. Maybe either put it there or there. Okay, let's see if we can figure this out. So basically the idea is that this thing has to turn somewhere. So let's say we're going to put it maybe here or there. Okay, let's place it right there. So what I'm going to do is cut all the way up to that point. So you have something that looks like this. I'm going to go ahead and convert it. Commands, modify, transform, whoops, modify, convert to symbol. Now this is going to be a little tricky. I'm going to put the pivot point right at the bottom. Okay, that way the little X is right there. You can see it. See that right there? That means that that pivot point is going to be like right there where I wanted it to turn. But I still have an issue with these edges here. So this is something that you have to figure out. Let's see. One of the things you can do is just put the outline there. And then we'll cut it right there. So you can have a shape that looks something like that. But you see how it doesn't really stay too close in? So you got to think about how it's going to turn. Alright, let me go ahead and close all this, delete all that, and let's kind of do another one. So your duck body looks kind of like this. So one of the things that I would do in your case is that I would just leave that as a contained part, F8, and maybe take one of those small circles F8, put it in the center, and just leave it in here where nobody can see it. Okay, so let's see, maybe we should move this up down some so a little X could be there. Let's see, let's try to get that little X to come to where this circle is. Or as close as we can get it. All right. I'm going to take this part, delete, so we just have that circle there. So it's just a green circle. See, nothing special. It just kind of hides. So we're going to put that as your hip, that as your upper torso, So that upper torso is going to go like this. Okay? And your hip is, whoops. And your hip is going to rotate around here if it needs to, but it won't, because that's the only part that's stable. Everything else revolves around it. So what you're going to do is then, let me take a look. Your hands are here. You're going to put this right there. Copy, paste in place, modify, transform horizontal. Okay, so that would be your upper torso, your lower torso, and the two hands. And because these hands have the pivot points exactly where we need them, all we need to do is go in here, 1, 2, 3. See, perfect line, and it's right in the center where it needs to be. Dun, dun, dun. And you can just leave it like that. I mean, for whatever reason, if you need to actually move these hands, you can do this. Hold the shift key while you turn them, and you can do that. But at least you keep all your pivots in place. Okay? And that's the same thing that you would do with this. Put the feet there. The neck, remember there's a circle here, there's a circle up there. I'm pretty sure you get it. But that's pretty much what I would recommend as far as the workflow for creating your joints. You want stuff to revolve around the other items. Like your particular lower area, your hip area, probably should be invisible. You should probably just keep this whole area as one instead of two pieces. Because when this turns, it doesn't flow properly. See how you have the break? It's like a Pac-Man thing going on. So it doesn't really look good. I think it would look better if you have a complete shape for this character anyways. Somebody else might be different. Let's see here. Open recent. Let's see. Here's our character. Alright, so notice this character the hip area is basically a circle over here, and this is going around that circle. See? See that curve right there? So you need these to be like basically a circle here, and these have to line up if you're going to do a two-piece. So that's how I do those sections. Okay, so let's see. The hands, they're all the same principle. Alright, I think you get the idea. Hopefully this gives you something to work with, and I look forward to seeing what you come up with.